Hi WP Clinic, this is Sephiroth here. Today I'm going to show you how to create a local WordPress installation without buying a domain name or buying a hosting space. Well, I know most of you have the desire to create your own sites. You want to create your own blogs, you want to create your own projects on the internet, but it's obvious that sometimes you may not have the time to connect your computer on the internet 24 hours working on projects for your clients. So the good idea for any web developer to go, the best way for any developer to go is to create a local WordPress installation on their own servers. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can create a WordPress installation on your local server or on your computer. Then after you have done the work, you have shown it to your client or you have shown it to your friends, then you can upload this site to your remote server, which is the hosting panel, which is the cPanel, which you will buy eventually. So there are many ways there are many ways to create WordPress installation these days. In fact, there are many ways. I've seen where somebody simply bought a flash and he had WordPress installation in it, he inserted it into the computer and then began the installation. So there are many ways you can install WordPress on your computer. But in this way, I'm going to show you three basic ways that you can install install WordPress on your local computer, or in this case, I've called it local server. So I'm going to open my browser, and then just simply minimize my Facebook page, which I was on. Okay, now the first way is to use your XAMPP. You can use XAMPP. You can install XAMPP on your computer, and then you will do the configuration manually, where you go to your WordPress installation files and look at the WordPress config files, and then you change them. I don't want to go into that because it takes a lot of time, but if you are somebody, if you're a developer and you want to learn how to create your WordPress installation using XAMPP or WAMP, any of these ones on your computer, please let me know in the comments below. Then I'll know those who are actually interested in going that route, so I can show you how you can follow the process to create a WordPress installation using XAMPP on your computer. Now, another way you can use you can use WordPress development by Flywheel. See, it's a very good software. I tried it on my system. It's a very good software, but I've not moved to local because I'm using another software which is called Desktop Server. It's a desktop server. I'm using this one, Desktop Server. So I have not moved to local, but if you can, please go to local.getflywheel.com and you'll find a development server that you can use on your computer. In fact, it also allows you to install WordPress using PHP 7. So if you come back to let's let the desktop server. This is the one that I want to use for you here. This is called Desktop Server. So if you download Desktop Server on your system, you can install WordPress on your local server, which is your local your computer. And then when you finish developing your site, you can upload that site to the remote server, which is the hosting server that you eventually buy. There are two versions of you have the premium versions and the limited version of this server. So please for beginners, you can just simply for beginners simply go for the limited versions. It allows you to install about 3 sites because we can do basically everything that we need to do using the limited version. So please go there, and then once you click on it, you add to cart and then you download. So to save things, I've downloaded the application here. So if you download the desktop server for Windows version, this file is a zipped file. So you have to first of all unzip the file. So once you click here, you'll click on unzip. It will extract the file to the folder, and then you will begin to install. So I'm not going to go through the installation process simply because I already installed the software on my computer. The desktop server is here. So I'm simply going to launch the application and then show you how you can use the application to create your desktop server. But the installation process is simple as any other software. Windows software can be installed on the computer. If you are not using a Windows, if you're not using a Windows server or a Windows computer, you can go. It has a Mac version of it too, so you can download the one for Mac. Once you click on add to cart, it takes you to the next page, and then you can download the one that's appropriate for your computer, whether Mac or Windows. I have a Windows 10 laptop. So I have downloaded the application, I've installed it, and here, this is where I have the icon here. If you don't find the icon on the desktop the moment you install, simply go back to your Windows file. You go back to this, and then you go to the local drive, and once you pick on the local drive, you come to XAMPP Lite. This is it. Once you click on XAMPP Lite, you will still find the icon here. This is it. So you can simply right click and then create a shortcut on the desktop there. Once I say right click, and then I can then go ahead and then create a shortcut on the desktop. So it is just try it. If you have any problem, come back to this, come back to WP Clinic, and then post a comment, and we'll do our best to assist you. So let's go back to our place. Go back to the where we are before. And then I will simply launch the desktop server by double clicking on the icon right in front of me. When you double click on the icon, it will load the application, allowing you to start the whole process of installing your desktop server. You're running your local installation on your computer. All right, so I have it on now. The next thing I will do is simply to click on next. You may find a warning message. Usually a warning message, just simply say yes, and then you continue to install to run your site. So now this is the desktop server for professional WordPress development. So I'll click on create a new development site. This site is not a real site on the internet. This site is existing on this computer. So we'll call it a development website. So you have the site. Every site you create, the site name is here. Every site you create on this development server, it's here. So it ends with .dev, which stands for development. So let's say I type that example.com, or I can just simply say wp-clinic.dev. So I'm using the blueprint on this particular installation is 4.8 zip. So what happened? What you ought to know here is that if you have anytime there's a new installation, a new WordPress version, you can simply download new version and take it to the blueprint folder in the XAMPP Lite desktop server folder. If you download this, so I have several versions of WordPress. You have several versions of WordPress that you want to try out. Let's say you're working on an application, or you're trying to give support to somebody, so you want to try out. You want to create a staging environment whereby you can test exactly what your client is experiencing on your own server. So you need to use the exact WordPress installation that is using. So that's the main reason why you can have several versions of WordPress on your desktop server, so that you can test different versions of it. But remember, we're using a limited version of this application, so you can only install 3 development sites on this desktop server. So let's just go ahead and begin the installation. Now I'll click on create. I've given the site name. Okay, I've chosen the blueprint I'm going to use, which is WordPress 4.8, which is the latest version. And then I'll allow the server to go ahead and then create the site for me. The process is quite a straightforward process. All you need to do is simply to follow the instructions that are given to you, and you wait and you allow allow WordPress to do the installation for you. All right, now that we have finished installing this, then we click on the next button. When you click on this link, it allows you to continue the 5-minute installation of WordPress, where you enter your username and password, and then your email. So when you click on it, it opens in the default browser on your computer, and the default browser here is Edge. So when I click on it, it's going to start Edge. Wow. So here we have welcome to the famous 5-minute installation process. Just fill in the information below and you will be on your way to using the most extensible and powerful personal public platform in the world. So we enter the username, the site name, and the site name here is WP Clinic. Okay, and the username here is 2017. Is that not? That's 2017. Okay, the username, please make have a good username, and don't use admin as a username, because using admin as a username, you are simply making your site very easy for hackers to bring it down. Then we have the password. If you want, you can take this password. If you there's a good one, you can highlight it, and then I can copy it. When you copy a password, have somewhere where you store your passwords. But if you don't want to write that password, then you can go ahead and then type your own. So that's the one I've typed. I can go ahead and type it. Okay, so that's the password I've used. Then I'll type my email. Okay, it's sefa@fruitfulujah.com.ng. That's the email to my website, my official email. Then I will click on install WordPress. It's a good process. Once you have done that, just make sure you download the WAMP server. The WordPress desktop server. You download the WordPress desktop server, you extract it, and then you install it on your computer. The moment you perform the installation and you are through, wow, finished, success. WordPress has been installed. Thank you and enjoy. So were you expecting more steps? Sorry to disappoint you. So I'll click on login, and then you go into login, and then I'll type the username that I created. I chose that time. Once I do that, and password, because I asked you to save the password. Enter the username, enter the password, and then you click on login. Here we are. So now we have our brand new WordPress installed, version 4.8, and then you can begin to customize your WordPress the way you like it. Well, once again, my name is Sefa, the project lead at Fruitfulujah project. I am also the host of the Fruitfulujah podcast. So if you are interested in knowing more about WordPress and knowing more about how to work with WordPress, then you can subscribe to my podcast, and also you can subscribe on my site for the newsletters. Thank you very much.